There is something so strangely special about George Miller's Mad Max series. Both weirdly exotic, yet salt-of-the-earth fundamental. There's really nothing that compares to it. And after having a blast with Furiosa, the first, side mission / prequel, it got me thinking on how 5 movies and 1 underrated video game. Sorry man, but you're wrong on this one, George.
It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. It wasn't in our heads.
The birth of everything we think of in this ferocious Australian universe was basically birthed in its sequel, The Road Warrior. Well, here in the States, Mad Max 2 everywhere else. It was patient zero for everything we have come to love about this series. Can this still be the best Mad Max movie? So get your bondage, double barrel, and gasoline ready. I know this isn't horror, but let's talk The Road Warrior.
Nice hearing from you, Carlos.
Scope. The biggest change to the story and world of Mad Max is scope, and specifically the dystopian post-apocalyptic aspect. A lot like Dawn of the Dead, this puts us further down the line after the collapse of society. And in doing so, we get to explore what exactly that looks like in grand fashion. The 1979 original took place during the end. That eerie time where things would still be familiar and, many basic aspects unchanged, but the threads would be quickly coming apart. The structural integrity has been compromised. And it's here we meet Max Rockatansky. The Road Warrior time jumps into the complete and utter chaos, a desolate world filled with over-the-top villains, little dialogue, and big emotions. Aspects of these existed in the OG Mad Max, but far more toned down, while, honestly, some just weren't there at all. George, alongside writers Terry Hayes and Brian Hannett, wisely expanded the world, adding in more exaggerated elements and a more mythological tone. George wanted bigger, and setting this in a dystopian outback gives us everything we've come to love. The car chases were not only bigger and more violent, budget being the big reason, but setting this firmly into the collapse, we get the weirdness and personality that the Mad Max series has become known for. We get a fully realized post-apocalyptic wasteland. The scale is much grander. Some of these aerial shots were unmatched. Until Fury Road. Dude, hell, this one must kill a stunt guy.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the Store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
Listen, I'm pro safety, of course, but there is something to these sort of, more lower budget run and gun shoots. Alongside more elaborate set pieces, the cars themselves are retrofitted from whatever could be salvaged at the time. And same with the outlandish costumes. What's around? F it, wear it. Now, of course, the official statement is this is 3 years after Mad Max, but I don't know, that always seemed a bit silly. Like in 3 years, we went from this to wearing assless chaps and getting desert boyfriends? I don't know. It seems like we, need a bit more time in between. And of course, with Fury Road, we get one long, amazing action scene. It's like the ending to Road Warrior, only, the entire movie. But that's where, and as much as I love Fury Road, I feel like that particular entry kind of sits on its own, apart from everything else. You can't mimic it or do it again without the laws of diminishing returns. Fury Road was a time and place, lightning in a bottle. The brainchild of Miller stewing over Mad Max for damn near 30 years in between films. But with the 1979 original being the, low-budget setup, the Road Warrior, Thunderdome, and Furiosa all have a somewhat similar style and storytelling. But the one to give us the world we love so much now, well, the Road Warrior is the best. And I'm fair enough to get that some, maybe many, may disagree. But going from Mad Max to the Road Warrior was a far crazier and mind-bending jump than from Thunderdome to Fury Road. There's just more time with the characters and moments of calm that work so beautifully. Mr. Dear Leader living by his fair terms and the importance of a contract.
He fulfilled his contract. He's an honorable man.
That strange Aussie humor. It's like, the mechanic's shy. He needs this guy to help him out.
They've got 12. You've got 12! Okay.
Lord Humongous simply asking in that iconic voice,
Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.
Thunderdome to Fury Road, ending at Furiosa, at least at the time of this video. All roads lead back here. This was the birth of the epic multi-car road war. The cartoonish evil villain. And yeah, I get it. Toe Cutter exists, but, it's like Ash from Evil Dead to Evil Dead 2. Yeah, the bones are there, but it's not the same. I'm sorry. It's the sequel that firmly establishes the tone. And Lord Humongous was the start that would give us Master Blaster, and Morton Joe, Dementist, Auntie Entity. And for me, the teaming of Humongous and Wes changed pop culture in the post-apocalyptic subgenre forever. And real quick, let's give Vernon Wells a bit of credit here. A man can effortlessly play a villain. I mean, it's impressive, and goddamn do I miss the 80s, man. This guy was the best. And he even shows up in Weird Science as his Road Warrior counterpart. As a Chicagoan, I want to give any and all credit I can to Mr. John Hughes. And what about Max himself? Gibson's iconic portrayal is... It's iconic for a reason. He effortlessly embodies the character. And out of the 4 films he's in, what's the best Max? I mean, it's easy. The Road Warrior. In Mad Max, Mr. Rockatansky was a wary rookie cop that was a good man. He just wanted to live a life. Also, real quick, I love the Polish last name. In a world with these grand, outlandish names, it's so badass that Max Rockatansky, that's the guy, that's the hero. As someone who's always gotten Kazimierz Pulaski Day off, my entire childhood, this drink is an honor to you, sir. Zdrowie. And here, Max, he's cold, bitter, a full scavenger. There's still some heart. He has an adorable mutt and adds a touch of humor. If only a glance here or there. But it's the little nuances that brings out the character. It's Gibson being a better actor and bringing it to Max. Now, if we are being honest, and I hope we are, I think Mel Gibson is a better actor in Thunderdome. I mean, he was only a few years away from becoming Martin Riggs, and you could see the stardom growing within. The Max here in The Road Warrior is my favorite iteration. Cold and cutthroat, but he's more the anti-hero in this one, and yes, Hardy plays it more, mumbly and feral, something that if given another chance in another entry, I'd be willing to see where he grows the character, but for my money, Max is at his best here. Though a bit cliched now as the anti-hero, we haven't had a Max as cool as he is right here. And yes, it's basically the Australian Quint scene from Jaws, but fucking Gibson owns it.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
And this is the first entry to implement one of the most important elements of the series, the fable, the myth, and legend. Helping with the clunky continuity, it's probably the thing that I enjoy the most in the Mad Max series. Max is a figure who helps the needy and is anywhere and everywhere he needs to be. Reluctant hero helping the folks of the wasteland. A man born from a simple life, a solitary figure to a community's protector. While Furiosa literally ends on a, here's what I hear. And Thunderdome ends with one of the kids lighting up the city in case Max will ever return. Of course he doesn't. But my money's on Road Warrior being told through the now adult feral kid, hinting that maybe the embellished nature that defines this movie just may come from the interpretation of the mind of a child. Of course, the series doesn't confirm or deny, but continue the tradition of Max being a campfire tale of a good man, one out in the wasteland helping those in need.
The most important part of your life was the time that you spent with these people.
I love where this series has gone and evolved into. And Miller has not lost a step. He hasn't softened or retreated, and every time he re-enters the world of Max, he gets a bit weirder, and thank Christ we can still get big, fun, and strange movies. The Road Warrior is an adventure emphasizing survival, where the action punctuates the story's progression. It may not be the most epic, with, Fury Road existing, the most dramatic, or the most otherworldly, but it's the perfect blend of them all, and still my personal favorite.
Seems like the world is moving on. Didn't stop to look around. Didn't give a shit if you're crashing down. You can close your eyes but not your skin. Don't believe what you refuse to see. Won't find a way in. Well, I can't ignore a certain thing.